other challenge that we had to face during the reconstruction in Chile after the 2010 earthquake and tsunami was the variety and the spread of the damage. We had coastal communities that were mostly houses made out of wood. We had traditional kind of like countryside communities that lived in houses made out of adobe or rammed earth. And we had urban communities that were living in houses made out of concrete and brick. And the question about what's the best material, which would be the best solution, definitely depends on where the community is, what is their tradition, and what are the most accessible materials that they have on hand. But there's some things that we began to test and work out on a general and overall view that helped that to really move and implement more than 200,000 units in less than 4 years. One is prefab. We called for prefab panels, mostly made out of either wood or metal frames and panels that comply with all the building codes that Chile has for housing. And then have them being implemented either in coastal or inner countryside towns. Then in those towns that were exposed to tsunami damage, we asked for the first floors to be made out of concrete, mostly up on pillars, so the houses could be above the flood level. And then prefab panels on top of that basic concrete structure. And then also in the traditional historic towns where adobe was a traditional material to build, we managed to come up with new codes for adobe building that would be reinforced adobe, incorporating new technologies that will keep and maintain the image and the tradition of those towns, but be more resilient as well. I think you need a combination of these solutions. It could be any material, and the key issue is how to respect and integrate tradition and the attachment to the land that the communities have, and how can those communities add value to the homes once you give them a basic framework and they can add value by building on their own.